In our morning rounds, one surgeon's effort to save crucial time for victims of a stroke. On average, a stroke kills one American every 4 minutes. The odds of survival improve when emergency treatment begins quickly. And that's because almost 2 million brain cells die every minute during a stroke. David Begnaud met one neurosurgeon in Florida who found a new way to rush to the emergency room to help his patients. David, good morning.
Nora, good morning and good to see you. There's just one surgeon who operates on all of the stroke victims at Palmetto General Hospital outside Miami. This guy performs about 100 emergency procedures every year, and he needs to be there whenever the call comes. That means if he's with his family on the weekend, it doesn't matter. This guy feels an obligation to respond.
There's a stroke now?
Yeah, I mean, they just announced it. Can I just try to find out what it is?
Yeah, absolutely.
In this case, Dr. Ritesh Kaushal was already here at Palmetto General Hospital, but he often has to drive in to treat stroke victims. Depending on the time of day, his 15-minute commute can easily stretch into 45 minutes.
Just the amount of damage that can happen in just about half an hour delay was spectacular.
But now, damage control for his patients. He uses emergency lights on his personal car, speeding his arrival to folks like Robert Buslow, whose family dialed 911 when he suddenly had trouble tying his shoes and sweeping the porch.
How bad was it?
It was considered a fatal stroke if it wasn't taken care of.
The neurosurgeon did take care of it before Buslow even knew what was happening.
And he must have gotten there very quick, because the moment I got in there, I was in the scanners, going from one to the other, and then all of a sudden, he got it out.
Just as he did for the patient who arrived when we were there. Kaushal pulled out a tiny blood clot like this.
If I did not have the lights, or if it had taken me another half an hour to get to him, things would have been very different. Potentially, he probably would have been paralyzed on the right side and would have never been able to speak.
The reason I have absolutely no ill effects is because, Dr. Kaushal got there very, very quick.
No sirens though, right?
No sirens.
Do you just honk your horn?
Yeah, usually if I need to.
We mounted a camera inside of his car to see how it works. The lights allow him to drive on the shoulder of the highway around traffic backups. The fire department installed this after first checking to make sure it was legal.
Still has to abide by all traffic laws.
Right. So he has to stop at the red lights, go the speed limit. He can just sort of move through the backup on the freeway.
And as people see the vehicle coming, they usually yield.
It does have risks. There are accidents that occur, crashes that occur.
Dr. Douglas Kupas of the National Association of State EMS Officials says EMS medical directors sometimes respond to scenes with lights and sirens on their cars, but that this is the first time he's heard of a surgeon using emergency lights.
Whenever there's a jam, otherwise I'd never use the lights.
Dr. Kaushal worked 350 days last year, and he measures success by the minute.
What we see is that any of these delays, those brain cells really translate to this person being able to walk out of this hospital on his own or go to a nursing home and be paralyzed for the rest of his life.
So health officials suggest the best way for stroke victims to save time is recognize the symptoms. There's an acronym, FAST. Watch for these things: a drooping face, arm weakness, or speech problems, and to get help as soon as possible. Dr. Kaushal says he's used the lights about 7 times since he installed them in September. And here was a lighter moment. He said to me, I had to talk to my wife, who's also a doctor, about can I do this? And she said, yeah, sure. Just get some extra life insurance. And he did.
Oh, but this is so crucial, and to know that you're having a stroke. I mean, that's the big thing.
Charlie, we watched him while we were there remove a stroke from a man's brain, and it was the size of a rice kernel. And he walked in and he couldn't move a limb.
Shows you right there.
It's so nice to have you at the table.
It's so good to be here.
I know. Is it hard for you just to sit still? Is that hard?
I tell you what, I'm in a suit. I feel like a fish out of water.
Well, because you're usually, crawling through the snow or being batted by winds and
crawling, not walking.
Not walking. It's so good to see you guys.
No.
Happy holidays.
We love what you contribute.
Yes.
Thank you,
The feeling
Charlie.
is mutual about
Thank
you,
you.
David Begnaud.
You too.
Thank you.